The universal theme I chose for my project is that life carries on always. I feel that this theme is very prevalent not only in the text I chose, but also in real life situations and events. What this theme means is that despite anything that happens, life continues for the better or worse. Now I'll clarify the text I selected. In the Days of Prismatic Color is a poem written by Marianne Moore. It talks about how the evolution of man has made life too complex and therefore hides the truth of things. This truth is that our lives don't need to be so intricate. However, we keep adding onto this pile of complication in hope that we will become more sophisticated and advanced. However, Moore writes that, principally through sophistication is, as it always has been, at the antipod of the initial great truths. End quote. This means that us becoming, or thinking that we are becoming more sophisticated, is leading us away from what we are supposed to be. All of this links back to my theme, however, it branches off from the other text that I will be discussing in the sense that it isn't always a good thing that life continues. Although life keeps going, it shouldn't be rushed. Evolution will occur when it is needed, which is exactly what Marianne Moore is trying to say in her poem. The second poem I will be talking about is Fire, written by Judy Brown. Fire is a poem that has both literal and metaphorical meanings. It talks about how an actual fire can be smothered if too much wood is placed onto it, and that it needs space to grow. Metaphorically speaking, this could also mean that as the fire grows, or that life keeps progressing, space has to be made for its expansion. You shouldn't try to contain a flourishing life, but instead make room so that it is able to grow on and nurture. In the poem, Brown writes that, when we are able to build open spaces in the same way we have learned to pile on the logs, then we can come to see how it is fuel and absence of fuel together that makes fire possible. End quote. Figuratively speaking, this means that as the journey of life progresses, one should not only focus on the present challenges that face them, but where these challenges will take them. Fires do not require much tending, however, you must always watch them. If you turn your back for only a split second, everything could go up in flames. One must always be careful. In the novel The Hobbit, written by J.R.R. Tolkien, a young-aged hobbit named Bilbo Baggins comfortably lives in his hobbit hole within the boundaries of the Shire, the land of the hobbits in the fictional world of Middle-earth. One day, Bilbo encounters Gandalf the Grey, a great wizard who has been on countless adventures. After a while of talking, Gandalf convinces Bilbo to embark on an adventure with 13 dwarves who are determined to take back their city of Erebor from the evil dragon Smaug. The dwarves were in need of a burglar, a sly pair of feet who would be able to sneak around when needed. Gandalf saw Bilbo as the solution due to the fact that hobbits are very quiet on their feet. After a heavy meal in Bilbo's home, the party sets out on their adventure and encounters many challenges, including trolls, goblins, orcs, spiders, wargs, and more. The group soon finds their way into a cave where they find many valuables. In this cave, they found numerous weapons, including multiple magical swords. Bilbo himself finds a unique sword that illuminates with blue light whenever orcs or goblins are near, which he later names Sting. After the finding, the company travels onward to their destination over the Misty Mountains, a dangerous place overrun by goblins and other menacing creatures. The group soon finds themselves taking a break from their travels in the elvish kingdom of Rivendell. After their rest in Rivendell, the company moves on and is soon captured by goblins who take them as prisoners. Bilbo manages to slip away from the fray and wanders through the tunnels of the goblins' stronghold where he meets Gollum, a bent, cruel, and ghastly-looking humanoid. However, before encountering Gollum, Bilbo stumbles upon a ring which he takes to liking in and puts into his own pocket. Bilbo eventually escapes from Gollum along with the magical ring that turns its wearer invisible. The dwarves and Gandalf had already escaped on their own and accidentally left Bilbo behind, who soon catches up with them outside of a mountain. The group then faces their next challenge when a group of warg attacks them, and they are forced to climb trees and throw flaming pine cones at them, causing a great fire. Great eagles then come and rescue them, and soon after, Gandalf leaves the group in order to attend to other business. The company then travels through the dark forest of Mirkwood, where they are attacked by spiders. They survive and continue on their way to the lonely mountain. The group soon finds their way to Lake Town, a human settlement not far from their destination where Smaug lies. Bilbo then sneaks into the mountain and talks to the great dragon, who reveals a weak spot in his armored body right where his heart is. Bilbo then leaves the mountain, taking a golden cup with him. Smaug becomes infuriated and goes to burn down Lake Town, however is killed by the expert arrow shot of a bard, a skilled ranger. However, before his death, Smaug is capable of burning down Lake Town to nothing but ash. After the defeat of Smaug, the people of Lake Town and the elves who had helped the dwarves in their quest come to the mountain for reward of their sacrifices and support. The leader of the dwarves refuses to give any of their treasure to them, and soon after, an army of goblins and wargs march onto the mountain seeking the destruction of the dwarves. The elves, humans, and dwarves are then forced to band together to fend off the invaders with the help of Gandalf. Afterwards, Bilbo and Gandalf return to the Shire, where Bilbo is unwelcomed and rejected by the typical Hobbit society. Although Bilbo cares nothing about this and continues to live comfortably in his hobbit hole with great tales of his adventures and treasure to prove it. His life went on as it had on his great adventure. The second novel and final book that I will be talking about is The Fellowship of the Ring by J.R.R. Tolkien. In this book, Frodo Baggins, a hobbit from the Shire, embarks on a quest along with 3 of his dear friends to eliminate a great ring that has fallen into his possession. Frodo was the heir of Bilbo Baggins, who had adopted Frodo after returning from his own great adventure. During this adventure, Bilbo acquired the One Ring, a ring meant for the evil Lord Sauron who wished to enslave all of Middle-earth, the world where this book is based. Bilbo was unaware of the ring's history when he possessed it, however Gandalf the Grey, a great wizard, soon realized its identity. On his 111th birthday, Bilbo departs from the Shire and leaves the ring with Frodo, still not knowing of its past. Gandalf then sends Frodo off on a quest to destroy the ring after telling him of its history. On this quest, Frodo encounters many foes, including the Black Riders, servants of Sauron who pursue them for most of their travels in search of the One Ring. However, along with foes, Frodo and his company also meet Strider, formerly known as Aragorn. Aragorn is a fearless ranger and a friend of Gandalf, who leads Frodo and his friends to Rivendell, where a council is to determine the path of the ring and who is to take it. However, on the way to Rivendell, the Black Riders attack the party and wound Frodo with one of their blades. This wound has the capability of turning Frodo into a ring wraith, if not healed in time. Luckily, though, Elrond, the Master of Rivendell, does heal Frodo, and he is able to continue his journey alongside the chosen party of the council. The party consists of Frodo and his original 3 hobbit friends, Aragorn, Gandalf the Grey, Gimli the Dwarf, Legolas the Elf, and Boromir, a man from the south. The group continues their journey and is forced down into the abandoned dwarven city of Khazad-dûm, or recently renamed as Moria. Here in Moria, the Fellowship encounters a Balrog, a terrible demon that Gandalf confronts and defeats at the cost of his own life. In the end of the book, the Fellowship is then forced to continue on without Gandalf and comes to the deciding of either to continue to their destination in Mordor, the land of Sauron, or to the safety of the great kingdom Minas Tirith. During the deciding, Boromir is overcome by the ring's evil power and attempts to take it from Frodo for his own doings. Frodo then realizes that he must embark on his quest alone so that the ring does not possess any more of his friends. He then attempts to sneak away from the company, however one of his hobbit friends, Sam, catches on and follows Frodo. They then travel to Mordor themselves, seeking to destroy the ring. Throughout the entire book, Frodo is an idol of perseverance and never gives up. He kept going and would not let up, continuing on with his quest and life. After all, life always goes on. The video is now at an end, and I thank you all for watching.